Okay, so I was yapping away and I didn't realize that my phone had ran out of space and I wasn't recording my video, and I thought it was a really good video, so I've already laid the cards out. These are my Gilded Reverie Lenormand. And so I just want to go on with the message because I thought it was a really cool message. So basically, it's what are you struggling with is we have the snake. And what do you need to focus on is a Sith. So it's cutting something out. And then we have future energies as time. And my message that I was saying is that don't let negativity, don't let negative people, don't let negative thinking for yourself rob you of time, rob you of your time. And I was saying how, which I had gotten emotional, and I was just saying how I've spent so many years, so many decades giving this negative energy, whether it was negative thoughts towards myself or it's surrounding myself with negative people, that I've given so much of my life to that energy. And I'm finally realizing that I need to cut that out, that I need to just get rid of that energy because it zaps time from me. And when I look back, I say, oh my gosh, I have wasted so much time with people that don't deserve me, with people that are negative, with people that are trying to control and manipulate me, with my own thoughts of negative towards myself, saying that I'm not going to accomplish, or I'm not good enough, or I'm too, this, or I'm too that. And it's robbed me of a lot of time. It's robbed me of a lot of years. And I just feel like it was such a good message that I didn't want for you to miss out on it, because I feel like that's what a lot of us do, and that we don't realize that we're spending so much time on this negativity and putting ourselves in this negativity. And I bet if we really sat down and added up all of the hours, the days, the months, the years, the decades that we've spent on that, and we can't get that back, I think that would be so frustrating. But I feel like the best thing to do is to say, okay, I recognize that. I see that I'm that this snake, whatever that may represent to you, it could represent multiple things, is robbing me of time, of positive time, of good time, of positive energy, of good things in my life, and seeing that, hey, I'm not going to let that happen anymore, and taking control of the time that you're thinking, right? Are you thinking of positive things? Are you thinking of motivated things? Are you thinking about the next steps of what you want to do? Are you thinking about those people that you love and you enjoy spending time with? Are you doing things with yourself? Yes, we have to go to work, and yes, we have to deal with that, and no, not everybody has an amazing fun job, and we have to put ourselves, but while we're there, because we spend so much time doing that, are we going to be angry and frustrated and irritated the whole time? Or if we are we going to say, okay, how can I change that? How do I change that? Do I start looking for something else? Do I start doing something else? Right? We find those solutions, that if we're being surrounded by this energy, how do we solve this? How do we move past that? How do we get away from that? You're in control of this. I love it. We have the Magician, which I love that card. That's one of my favorites, is because the Magician is powerful and he makes things happen. And you can make things happen, and you have the power. You have to have that faith and belief in yourself that you can make the changes, that if you're surrounded by this snake energy, that you can make the changes, that it's up to you. We have, what do you need to focus on? We have the Sith, which is cutting things out, something new. Right? Something new, something different, letting go of what's holding you back. Let it go of the snake and start focusing on this Ace of Pentacles. I love it, the Death card. We have the Devil energy. Yeah, if you're used to having that toxicity around you, if you're used to being always in this negative energy, yeah, it's going to be hard to break free from that. And you're going to have to make some big changes. And it's something that takes time. It's not something that you can just flip a switch and it changes. I wish it could have, because I would have flipped that switch a long time ago. And it's taking me time to flip that switch. But let me tell you, once you flip the switch, it's so exciting. I mean, it's so amazing. It feels so good. I feel like I'm getting my life back. I feel like not even back. I don't even think I ever had it. Coming into your own power of the devil energy, walking away of what doesn't serve you or doesn't work for you, and it's those negative thoughts that you have within yourself. What are you thinking about? Right? What do you always think about? What do you always process? Are you always saying things that you can't do, or are you always focusing on things that you can do? Or are you manifesting those things? Are you saying those things that you want to have happen? For me, many times throughout the day and night, I will say, things that I want to manifest, things that I want to happen, and I get excited in that energy, and I put myself in that energy of having those things, right? And that's what works for me, to stay positive and to stay motivated. Dealing with those difficult situations, having patience, realizing that this is something that's going to take time, but it's like if you're open to seeing what's going on, and seeing what you're focusing on, seeing what you're doing, seeing what you're not doing, seeing where this energy is, and knowing, okay, this is what I have to cut out, and saying, I want my time back. I want positive time. I want good time. I want to look back and say, yeah, like I spent more time in positive energy than I did in negative. I spent more time focusing on what works for me instead of focusing on things that work against me. All right, let's grab a Wisdom of the Oracle. Challenges are going to happen, just like when I turned on the, to record the video, and it was like probably 5 or 6 minutes until I finally realized, okay, it wasn't recording anything. And yeah, like that was frustrating, but I'm not going to let it ruin my day, right? I'm not going to let it be that snake and be that vampire and suck the positive energy out of me. I'm not going to let it get to me. Yeah, it's a challenge. We always have these challenges, but it's how you handle it. And I'm like, well, that didn't work, so let me figure out how to get this message through anyways. And I'm going to keep going with the message, even though I already pulled the cards, but I feel like it was a good message. So just pushing through and keep going, right? Giving yourself a leg up. We have a leg up, and I feel like that to me, that represents giving yourself a leg up, right? Helping yourself. Just like before, I probably, if that happened, I would have got all upset, and I would have got angry, and then I would have been like, why am I even doing this? And like just going off in a whole wrong direction. But instead, I'm like, well, I'm just going to laugh through it. It is what it is, and keep pushing forward, right? Giving myself a leg up, giving myself a chance to be able to get through a difficult situation and not make it worse for myself, right? How do I help myself out? How do I help myself, give myself a leg up? Support myself when I need it. And that's what I feel like, is that you have to be your own best friend. You have to be your own cheerleader. You have to look out for yourself. If you're always supporting other people, like that's a good thing to help other people, but are you helping yourself, right? Are you giving yourself a leg up, or are you putting yourself down? Are you stretching yourself too thin? Are you always trying to do things for other people, right? Are you setting goals for yourself that you kind of know you're not going to reach? Are you setting yourself up for success and giving yourself a leg up and saying, okay, I'm going to be honest, I know that this is only what I can do today, or this is only what I can deal with. So I'm only going to put that on my plate so that I know that I can accomplish it all and I can feel good about myself. Instead of putting so much on my plate that I know I'm not going to get done, and I'm going to get frustrated and angry because I didn't get it all done. Hostilities. How do you cut those hostilities out? I feel like that goes with the snake and this. How do you cut those hostilities out? Not being hostile towards yourself, being frustrated with yourself. Just like I said, I could have been angry and hostile towards myself because usually I delete the old videos before I start making new ones, and I didn't do it. So, man holding a coin, priceless information, I feel like. I also feel like you may have new opportunities that are coming in for you. Some very good advice. I just feel like that can represent some new opportunities or some very good advice coming in for you. Okay, let's grab a Star Dragons card. All right, Star Dragon's card for this reading. Let's pull this one. We have knowledge, learning, growing. What can you learn from a situation, right? Knowledge. What can you learn from a situation? What can you learn from your past? What can you... I feel like that kind of goes with the man holding a coin, representing somebody who says something to you that's very valuable. All right, and then we have Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. These are my spirit animal oracle. Love is all around. But I feel like most importantly is that you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. And I know that that can sound crazy, especially if you're struggling with things. You're like, what? One thing that really helped me a lot, that I started to turn around and that I really started to realize, is that I would stare at myself in the mirror and it was hard for me because I had put myself down for so many decades because the people I had surrounding me were putting me down, and I felt like that's where I should be. But to stand in the mirror and look at myself in the mirror and say, I deserve the best, and to give myself an actual high five, I did that for a long time. Like I gave myself I did the action of giving myself a high five in the mirror and say, you will make it, you will do it, you're a beautiful person, I love you, you deserve the best. Saying all of these positive affirmations. Sometimes it was just a couple. Sometimes I stood there for a while and I did that, and I'm telling you that that helped me. We all have different things that can help us. This may work for you, it may not work for you. But at least if it's an idea and you're like, well, it might be a possibility, it might work for me, right? I can give it a try. And why not? Because you never know what will happen from it. So I feel like love is all around, but you have to start with loving yourself first. Doesn't matter how many people you have around you. It doesn't matter how many things you have. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter how many pets you have. Because there was definitely a time in my life where I was just having more and more animals, thinking that that was going to fill the void, but it didn't. But not until I started loving myself did I realize that that's where it all starts. So love is all around, but start with yourself first. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.